I went out this morning for a coffee with a pal of mine that I hadn't seen in years from sales, right? And I love this guy to death. He's amazing. And we were talking about planning, and we were talking about, things that have happened post-COVID. Now, you said something about, kind of greater customer intimacy. And I said to him, right, based on this model that he said, and I'll tell you his point first. He said, why do businesses say we need 4x pipeline? Because that's the way they've always done things. When you tell a salesperson they need 4x pipeline, you're effectively telling them, we expect you to fail in 3 of every 4 sales engagements. Is that a great message? Right. And I thought, actually, no. And it's a good point. And he said, what we don't need is go-to-market plans. We need go-to-customer plans. Now, this takes us into things like ABM and things like that, so we're not going to go there. But if you really understand your market and you really understand kind of who you need to go after, and you make a case of trying to go and win these people, again, it's that focus, right, that I think companies need, particularly in these kind of difficult times. So that's how they can take their sales teams, realign quickly, replan and say, do you know what, we need to change this. Now, coming back to your point, Kim, I think, and tell me if I get this wrong, I'm sure you will. But you were talking about, that need to be nimble and kind of agile. And I think this is where artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms actually come in. When you ask me about my business, I'm sitting on 15 years of empirical data, not, in terms of sales, compensation management. We know the things that drive certain behaviors. We can kind of look back at trends, like in history and see how, people reacted to different scenarios. But I think what's really interesting in my business alone, forecasting is a big topic. So, if I can use, and also forecasting commission expense, things like that. So for example, and we just did it last week, I introduced a new spiff on Monday, and I spent a few hours last week modeling this, a few hours, not days and weeks, Mary, that we used to do in the past with our own manual spreadsheets. I said, based on the, individuals' attainment levels and based on what we've got in pipeline to date, if we can drive an accelerator for the sales team, how much is it actually going to cost us within a range of expense? How much would this cost us to do it? And then say, is it worth doing it? We modeled that in 2 or 3 hours. Yeah. Now, using artificial intelligence, using algorithms that would predict outcomes based on the maturity of an opportunity through the forecasting platform, and then aligning that to an individual's ability to close historically and where their attainment is to date. It's actually quite complicated, as you know, Mary. But we get numbers out at the end that says, well, this is the range, this is what it'll cost you. And then I can say to my CFO, well, this is a smart thing to do. Right. So I think this is where the technology comes in again to help us be that bit more agile. Years ago, we wouldn't have done it. We would just have said, right, reduce everybody's quotas, kind of hunker down, we'll get through this, so it's definitely different.